All right, the next section we're going to talk about is section 4.4 is point slope form. So our goal today is when you're done, you're going to be able to say, I can write the equation of a line given 2 points. And point slope form is a nice thing to use to be able to do that. So you can come up and see me and get the notes that are a guide to go along with this. Otherwise, you can take your own notes and stop this as you need to. Point slope form, okay. Again, the reason I like math is it's called point slope form because you need a point and you need the slope. So here's the formula right here. The point slope of an equation of a line with slope m passing through the point, here's your point, x sub 1, y sub 1 is, right here, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So the x sub 1, y sub 1 is a point on the line, and the m is the slope. Okay, how do we use that? All right, so refer back to that sheet. If you look at this, what number here then would be the slope? It was y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1, where the m is the slope, and then the x sub 1, y sub 1 is your point. So the slope here is 2, and the point on the line would be the point 1, 3. Notice 1 is your x coordinate and the 3 is your y coordinate, so make sure you put them in the right order. All right, let's look at the example below that. Y minus 5 equals 1/2 times the quantity x minus 3. What's the slope? Well, the slope is the number in front right here, so the slope is 1/2, and the point on the line would be, the x is first, so 3, and the y is second, so the 5. Notice the way I kind of remember this is it's a minus 3, that the numbers inside the coordinates are the opposite of what's listed. All right, so let's look at this a little differently. Now, given the slope and a point on the line, write the equation of the line in point slope form. So if you have the slope and you have a point, you can write your own equation. Okay, again, maybe look to your notes, or I'll rewrite it down. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So we're going to put in the slope, and we're going to put in the point. So we're going to go y minus 5 equals the slope, which is 2, times x minus negative 1, which is actually plus 1. So again, it's always the opposite of what's there. If it's a negative 1 for the x, it's a plus in the equation. If it's a positive 5 here, it's a minus in the equation. All right, so number 2 would look like this. Y minus 3, that's your y coordinate, equals the slope, which is negative 2/3, times x, let's be careful, minus 2. And that's all there is to it. All right. So let's look at it a little bit differently for 3 and 4. If this is the equation for number 3, let's name a point on the line. So we're going to have to look at the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So a point on the line would be the x coordinate is 3 and the y coordinate is 1. Again, it's the opposite. Since there are negatives there, it's actually positive inside the parentheses. So what would happen then for number 4 if you're going to give the point? If that's a plus 7, the point's actually negative 7 and negative 2 for the y. All right, so now here's a big question. I said when you're going to be able to, when we're done, it was I can write the equation of a line given 2 points. All right, so if these are the 2 points and we're supposed to write the equation of the line in point slope form, I need a point, which I already have, and I need the slope. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work to calculate the slope. Remember, slope formula is equal to calculate the slope, we need to take y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So in this case, we'd go 10 minus 4 over 3 minus 6. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. So the slope is actually -2. So now we can use the point. We're just going to go y minus 4 equals -2 times x minus 6. That came from this point right here. That's your x coordinate, that's your y. So I put the 4 with the y and the 6 with the x. Done. Pretty simple. Now we could write another equation. We know that point. We can go y minus 10 equals -2 times x minus 3. Just pair up the x coordinate with the x and the y coordinate with the y, and you're good. All right, let's try one more. A line contains the 2 points, -1, 5, and 3, -7. Write the equation of the line in point slope form. So let's calculate the slope. -7 minus 5 over 3 minus -1. -7 minus 5 is -12. 3 minus -1 is like 3 plus 1, so over 4. So the slope is -3. So again, just we can write two equations. The first one will be with the point -1, 5. We'll go y minus 5, because that's the y coordinate, equals -3 times x minus -1, which is actually a plus 1, the opposite of what's there. And with the point 3, -7, we're going to go y minus -7, which is a plus, equals -3 times x, and that's going to be -3. So the only calculating you really need to do is to calculate the slope, which is back from section 4.2, and put it in point slope form. You're going to want to have your notes. You're going to want to have that to refer to, because until you practice it, it's hard to have that memorized. All right, so section 4.4 on point slope form, I can write the equation of a line in point slope form given 2 points on the line. If you need to go back and review the 2 slides that I just showed you, go ahead. But basically, if you can do that, you should be pretty successful on these 2 quizzes, 4.3.4 and 4.4.4. So good luck, and we'll see you next time.